I've not seen or heard from him in a long time.
I'm not going to go there. There's a lot of stuff there that is not my business.
We're not on camera.
No.
Okay.
I haven't spoken with John Hughes since 1988.
I really, I don't know. I'm sure he's doing fine.
Some feelings are so simple, but too hard to state.
I mean, there have been some people who've said that Hughes abandoned his teen audience at a certain point.
He seems to have kind of gone into semi-retirement.
He just took his bat and ball and went home.
Look at the kind of thing that John did. Where is that now?
He hasn't directed a film since '91, and he sort of went like that to Hollywood.
He made 5 really wonderful flicks about being a teenager.
I want to start off just with a little prayer. I don't have anything planned, but let's hold hands.
Hold hands.
Let's hold
You
hands.
know what?
Hands in the middle, hold hands.
No.
Hands in the middle.
Hold hands, hold
Okay.
hands.
This has been the best 2.5 years of my life, and I want to thank all of you. And whether we find John Hughes or not, I think the journey is what matters. And yeah, and also.
Let's pack it in.
Are those going to stay?
No.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually kind of perfect.
Do we have one for the other side?
Should we put it on the back, actually?
I have a suggestion. We should get on the road.
Yeah.
Want to find John Hughes?
Yeah, maybe.
Just stay there. That's the best?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, but you should ask these guys where they want to sit.
Which way do we go to get to the 401 then?
Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me.
Should say what we're doing. Matt, why don't you
Chicago.
go?
But yeah, we're on our way to Chicago because that's where John Hughes shot all of his movies, and that's where John Hughes currently lives.
Maybe I was wrong to jump to the conclusion, but I don't really dare to let down my suspicion.
About 2.5 years ago, Lenny and I met to discuss a potential screenplay we wanted to write, and we both decided we wanted to write a teen film. And we really wanted to make something that was kind of similar to the movies that we grew up and loved and affected us so much, the John Hughes films. So the more we racked our brains to try and come up with a John Hughes film, the more we realized how much of a genius the guy was and how impossible it is.
You know, like if you look at that Some Kind of Wonderful DVD, there's actual interview footage with Hughes. And you're like, really, that was the guy? Aside from his, rockin' mullet, you wouldn't look at that guy and be like, that's the person who's gonna speak to teenagers like he's fucking Jesus Christ.
I did say that John Hughes was the philosopher of adolescence, and I believe that more now than I probably did at the time when I wrote that.
The hell are you bitching about? I gotta sleep under some Chinaman named after a duck stork.
Where am I sleeping?
Sofa City, sweetheart.
John's real sort of genius is that he was not afraid, and he created these sort of comic elements to allow that to be sort of heavy material, but digested with comedy in a way that people can really relate to it.
I, being like Salieri and Amadeus, filled with bitterness and jealousy, thought, how can he just channel these things? It's just amazing.
This is ridiculous, okay? I'll go. Shit.
He was creating his own reality. He was writing and directing the world that he wanted to see.
Hughes was always a genius at tapping into the biggest hopes and fears and dreams and insecurities and things that matter the most to teenagers.
Your grandmother has just passed.
What? That's how he cast, and that's what he was attracted to, was something kind of off in people. I think John was a big old geek in school, so that was his fantasy, that he would be the the geeky guy who nevertheless, you know, ruled the school, and he gets the girl that, you know, and that would all work out in the end.
I think John was writing characters very often that were sort of him and how he felt and how he operated. I know there was a lot of the feeling or the experience of being the outcast and the underdog for him. I think he still probably feels that way.
I don't even count, right? I could disappear forever and it wouldn't make any difference.
Hughes was just insanely gifted. It's like going, how come people don't write as well as Shakespeare? It's like, well, there was one Shakespeare.
That dialogue is important enough that it could never be goofy, regardless of, you know, what we wear or what kind of missile comes through our house, you know?
You know, when the mother's making the sauce in one of the movies and the ashes falling into the meal, I mean, that's what he does best. He paints the details that other people don't pay attention to.
John was a good writer, and I think that's everything. We were a good combination, because I found kids that had talent to match his writing. And nowadays, they don't start with good writing, and then they don't get the talent.
Fell asleep on his couch at 5 in the morning because John was doing rewrites for Some Kind of Wonderful. And when I woke up, he handed me 50 pages. And he said, I said, what's this? We were just doing a couple of pages rewrites, you know. He goes, oh, I didn't do that. I did something else. Just tell me what you think. And it was the first 50 pages of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And he did it in like 5 hours.
He almost had an assembly line because he was so proficient and so prolific. And he had all these screenplays pouring out of his typewriter and maybe eventually his computer.
The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
I think Ferris Bueller's a perfect movie. I think if I had directed Ferris Bueller, I'd call it a day, you know. I'd be like, okay, I'm good.
These are artful films. These are smart movies. When you look back on them, they don't embarrass you. A lot of 80s movies do embarrass you.
He was a master, you know, at what he did and what he crafted, and also wasn't really thinking about it as he did it. You know, it wasn't like Hughes said, I'm going to set out to create a genre.
Then we kind of decided, why don't we make a film about two screenwriters trying to find John Hughes to help them get their film made. Fast forward a couple months later, I realized that that would be stupid and that we should actually not make a fictional film about it, but a documentary.
We wanted to explore why we felt teenagers were relating to the John Hughes films of the 80s more than anything in the last decade.
My favorite Johnny Hughes film would have to be Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Weird Science? Yeah. The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That was an amazing movie.
And I've seen it 20 times since I was a kid.
You went and saw it because you actually want to see the movie because it was well written and well done.
I can see myself more in that movie rather than the movies of today. You can relate to it really easily because it's just how people are in real life.
There's the struggles of actual high school.
It's very real. It doesn't seem like they took a bunch of celebrities and dressed them up and put all this makeup on them and got them to go and act for them.
And in the Breakfast Club, you actually kind of get to see who that person really is.
So Molly Ringwald had a really natural look to her.
Why kids still respond to these films is because he put his heart into it. There's something that was very important to him. So all these sort of offbeat characters like Cameron or in Pretty in Pink, Ducky, John Cryer's character, these sort of offbeat guys that had problems. I think that's all John. And I think that's something that he was saying, you know, pay attention to this.
The question that keeps coming up on this documentary is, well, have you gotten Hughes? Have you gotten Hughes? And our answer has always been, we want this to be a love letter to John Hughes, and we want John Hughes to come back. But it's kind of been unavoidable, and I think we've realized that the most important thing to do here is to actually go and find the man himself and and get the answers from him if we possibly can.
What we found in these 2 years is how much of an impact he has on probably everyone we've spoken to. I think, though, he'll be blown away by seeing 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds saying, I've watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off 27 times.
Yeah. Totally,
Like, I want him to see that.
You don't usually get a trivia like this until you're dead. Don't worry about it, you're young.
Not anymore.
No one, in my estimation, has come close to what John achieved.
Why'd you think it'd be easy?
For a while there, you could say teen movie, and it wasn't derogatory. You could say teen movie, you can go, yeah, it's a good movie.
For the first time in my life, I don't feel like a total dick.
The category teen films, that category is entirely tied to the 80s.
Right now, there are very, very few movies where I think anyone, I mean teenagers or really anyone else, can look at the screen and say, yeah, that's me.
He put real-life people into movies. That's why it worked. Everybody felt akin. Everybody knew somebody who was on that screen.
Oh, why can't we start old and get younger?
They can see themselves and say, you know, oh, I relate to that. I now know how to conduct my life based on how these people did.
All the people I went to school with were like the people in the Breakfast Club. You know, there weren't the other people. You know, there weren't the cool, normal people. It was sort of a school for slightly not normal people.
My best friend in high school was a kid who got, like, violent nosebleeds every 20 minutes of the day, you know, or another kid who could tell you whatever you needed to know about the Denver Broncos.
Molly was 15 or 16. Anthony Michael Hall was true. That was another thing. They were true to the age.
I was actually 17. I mean, if you can imagine your most, like, shaming, horrific year in high school is, like, immortalized in a very popular movie forever and ever. That's how it feels to me.
I guess I've been subconsciously kind of waiting for that moment where nobody has seen the movie anymore. And that moment hasn't come, really.
There was something kind of genius in casting Molly Ringwald, particularly in 16 Candles, because she does look like the average 16-year-old girl. She's not like this gift from the heavens fucking knockout. No, she doesn't look like she was trimmed out of Playboy and they put clothes on her or something like that. She looks like a teenager.
Molly Ringwald had a lovely, fresh, real look about her. And today, you've got to be, or, you know, the extensions down to here, or boobs up to here, you know. Otherwise, you don't fit the criteria.
So you gotta wait around an hour?
If I want to.
Do you know how much damage we could do to each other in an hour?
I feel like a lot of these young women now, they seem really interchangeable. They're all they're blonde, they're the skinny blonde anorexic girl #1 versus the other one with the freckly one, or the one with no freckles, one with the smaller boobs, or it just doesn't, they all seem sort of interchangeable.
I'm certainly glad I'm not starting as an actress now. I would have lasted probably like a week and a half. You just can't imagine Molly Ringwald having that kind of attention in the kind of the harshness of the attention on young actresses today. Whether or not it's courted, you know, is really freaky and kind of scary. I mean, I can't imagine trying to be that age in that environment.
Don't analyze it. Just go.
I think that there's some lovely young actresses out there now, but the machine immediately ingests them, and even if they do something fantastic, and the next week they're on the cover of Vanity Fair in some lace panties with their hands down their own pants.
You didn't know how much below Molly Ringwald was doing, or what she was, you know, or what her, if she shaved her vagina or whatever. I mean, like, the amount of information that's available about Lindsay Lohan is insane.
Have they put on weight? Have they taken off weight? Are they pregnant? Are they not pregnant? Are they dating? Did they break up? Are they back together again? It's kind of an unwholesome spotlight. The 25 years ago, when Hughes was working, his actors had attention. They got attention, but not that kind of attention.
I think a lot of the movies today are almost cliche.
I find it hard to really see a life behind a lot of the characters in today's films.
They don't really show, like, the middle, the average.
My life isn't as exciting as the people who are on screen. I don't think anyone's is.
One thing in particular that teens have mentioned is that they don't feel, and the teen males in particular were the highest on this chart, that movies today, they can't relate to movies today. Movies today don't relate to things going on in their lives.
I'll give you two good reasons why not. My mother and my father.
They're married and they hate each other.
The teen films of today are certainly different from John Hughes' films of the 80s in that they, for some reason, don't respect the audience the way Hughes did. There was an intelligence to Hughes' film. There was an honesty to the characters across the board. When I watch teen films today, they seem to be caricatures instead of the real thing.
The Hughes characters and actors that played the characters look like people you went to school with. You know, and you watch a flick like that and you're like, I could fucking tag that broad. You know, I could probably get her. And I don't know if girls think this way, I doubt it, but I'm sure they're sitting there going like, I could fuck Judd Nelson. Or Anthony Michael Hall. Although probably not.
The recent movies are so slick. The kids all seem to be sophisticated beyond their years in a way that's not entirely healthy.
High school is nothing like what high school is like in movies, especially our school.
Teenagers now do a lot of nothing.
I feel like they build it up a lot more than it really is.
Most kids don't wake up and get in their SL55 and, you know?
I definitely feel like I'm not well represented in the movies. I get good grades, and I don't think that's shown. Like, being smart is not cool in movies.
I don't think I'm represented at all. I think that they're too fake.
Now, guys in leads in teen movies are more like the perfect guy. They got the perfect bodies, perfect face, perfect hair. Everything just seems so right.
It's all tits and ass, really.
Everything's different. The industry's different. The audiences are different.
The people we've spoken to, you could not go to a studio right now and bring them Breakfast Club.
I think if you brought Breakfast Club right now to a studio, that script, they would be like, what? They wouldn't know what to do with it.
Too boring, they'd say.
When you grow up, your heart dies.
Who cares?
I care.
So he had to depend on very good actors, and they had to depend on his very good dialogue to make that into a box office hit, even though you couldn't really pitch that to a studio head and make it sound like it would be commercial at all.
We heard something kind of disturbing at a studio meeting where they said, you know, we were casting a film and we wanted it to relate to young audiences and stuff. And Napoleon obviously wasn't a studio movie, it was completely independent, so there really wasn't any outside creative push on it. And they said, you know, high school students are aspirational. You should set the bar for them in casting a little bit older than they are because they want to be older. And that would taint every other decision you make on down the line when you're doing creative development for these characters. And that's I think, the heart of the problem.
It's become a lot about bottom line and cost and what they hope to net.
Pre-sell things, and it's all about not really what the movie's about, it's all about how much money you can make.
When you make one of these movies, you have to make it for a certain amount of money because they can look at now historically and say, okay, well, they top out at this. So between the budget and the P&A, we can only spend this because this is who our audience is.
The goal of when you make a movie is to try to get, nowadays, because it's so concentrated on opening weekend, is to try to get as broad appeal as possible. You want to get all four quadrants. And the four quadrants are males under 25, females under 25, males 25 and older, females 25 and older.
Most teen movies, I think, are bureaucratic decisions. Let's go after that demographic and make a movie that'll appeal. There hasn't been one in a year, let's do it. You know, it's not like they come from a sense of urgency to write a character or to write a story about something that needs to be told.
I couldn't even pump up the volume now at the studio level. It's too small.
The costs of making things in a studio system are so big, they have to appeal to the broadest audience.
Today we're getting teenage movies that, although you see some good ones, by and large they tend to be movies with cheaper values, more superficial characters, more exploitation.
Bullshit, man. Come on, Vern, the kids haven't changed, you have.
I think that movies are becoming more and more like theme rides, where they just sort of have a beginning, middle, and end, and sort of like up, down, curve, scary moment, dip, and then you're over, and you go, shit, I just spent $17.
I have a theory. I think John Hughes is coming back. John Hughes writes under the alias Edmond Dantes. If you're familiar with the film, not the book, The Count of Monte Cristo. The film was good too. The film was good too, yeah. The book is better. I'm 150
What are you, 100 pages?
I was just gonna say, how familiar are you with it? You've read 5 pages.
It's not true. I'm at 130 page 130. Edmond Dantes, who is this 19-year-old, very talented sailor. So basically, he gets framed for being a Bonapartist, and they send him to the Chateau d'If, which is an island off the coast of France, where he's imprisoned. Edmond Dantes comes back. See, I've read the book.
You read the Coles notes.
No, I read the book.
Weren't you accused of being a Bonapartist?
Edmund escapes the chateau 14 years later, and he comes back as the Count of Monte Cristo, and he wears a mask. His goal is to seek revenge on the people that have harmed him. Molly Ringwald is actually quoted as saying... Seriously.
Molly Ringwald is actually
Molly Ringwald is quoted as saying, he will have the last laugh. And I believe that to be true. I think John Hughes is waiting to come back. John Hughes is saying, you took from me. I was making these stories. I was capturing innocence. I was doing all these things, and I was doing it to bring joy in storytelling, and it was taken away from him.
Now he writes some movies and puts other people's names on them occasionally and things like that.
Hughes is a tough guy to nail down in terms of, like, you don't read many interviews with him past that era when he was actually making flicks. He doesn't do commentary tracks on his DVDs.
When you're hungry, you don't have money in the bank. I think he probably has quite a bit of money in the bank. He loves his kids, he loves his family. It takes a big man to step out from something that fed his pocket so well.
He didn't want to have to answer. You know, he wanted to keep doing the stuff he was doing.
I think he had not a great experience in Hollywood, and he cares about the material and his work too much to kind of like have it go through the shredding machine.
They'll come back and go, no, we don't want to do that. We'd rather add another action piece or, you know, an exploding toilet scene.
Well, Hollywood's in terrible shape now. You know, they're doing remakes, and the studios are all owned by corporations now, and so they're very product-oriented now.
When I first came to LA, he let me call my mother one night after a screening of something in his car, and he drove, you know, and I was like, I was enamored of the whole, you know, palm trees. I didn't realize that rats lived on the top of them.
It's more comfortable for him to make these things, to make these entertainments, to tell these stories, and then keep his private life private.
You don't understand that it has nothing at all to do with you.
Maybe he feels that the kind of teenage movie that does it at the box office today is not the kind of movie he wants to make.
Hughes was always in the underdog's corner. He was always rooting for, let's say, the Judd Nelson character, or the Molly Ringwald in Pretty in Pink. You reach a point where your movies are making hundreds of millions of dollars, and that starts to seem disingenuous. And so I think he kind of gave up because he realized he just can't make those movies honestly anymore, because that's not who he is anymore.
You're right. You are absolutely right.
I say applaud the man for the work he did, and applaud the man for the lesser work that he never produced. Like, the dude got out while the getting was good.
I want to test Matt. I want to test Matt. Hi, where are you coming from?
Pat.
We're going to Chicago, where a filmmaker named John Hughes shot a bunch of his films, and we're shooting landmarks and stuff.
I love How do you guys all know each other?
Juvie. We're all young offenders. Okay, Matt, don't talk to Badge. Badge, you sit back.
Are you carrying any alcohol or drugs on you? I actually do have prescription pills on me right now, so maybe we should mention that.
No, maybe you should.
Maybe you should take one and sedate yourself.
Lenny, you have to keep me calm here.
Everyone stop looking so guilty.
Matt, find the girl. If it's a girl, go to the girl lane.
Is it?
No. This guy's got
You pick this lane. Hey, put all the sheets down. Pass Matt.
Pass Matt the passports. Pulling this guy over. We're in trouble.
Weird Science. Now that was a good movie. Pretty in Pink. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, practically the favorite film of Richard Roper, my partner on this television program.
It is a film that I enjoy watching over and over again. So, you know, if people want to go around saying that I've said Ferris Bueller's Day Off is my favorite movie of all time, fine. I'll stick with that.
The dude's an evergreen. You can always look in, like, the top 100 at Amazon, and there'll be one or more Hughes titles in there.
No one goes to make a film about teenagers without drawing from John Hughes. No one goes to make a movie about teenagers without watching John Hughes films again. Watching one of his films before you go out to make a teenage film is good and it's bad. It's good in that it's an enormous influence. It's bad in that you kind of feel that you couldn't really quite do it as well. I mean, there's not much you could do to do it better.
You know, that whole time I was just thinking things over.
I can't say with absolute certainty whether we were imitating Hughes or whether he had captured us.
Welcome to Michigan.
There we go. Now you can hear some tunage.
You can turn it up.
The first film that really got me was Breakfast Club, which is a lot of people's favorite, and I think it was the first. I don't know why I loved it so much when I first saw it, but I just like it was the one movie I could watch over and over and over again. I must have watched it like hundreds of times, and I could recite every line. As I watched the movie over the years, I was younger than them, but now I still watch it. Now I'm much older than they were, so it's kind of like that movie captures a moment of time in your life. You knew everyone in that group because you know everyone in high school like that. They were like people you knew, and because you've all talked like that, you've all done those things.
He broke the silence for everyone, and everyone watching it was like, okay, does that mean everyone else is feeling the way I'm feeling? Maybe I can just exhale a little bit. It's not like I watched Breakfast Club and I can remember the defining moment where I was like, yeah, that's the first time I saw it. I actually just don't remember a time where those movies weren't in my life. Watching them now is when I really identify with them more.
When you look at The Breakfast Club, that's almost the My Dinner with Andre of teenage movies. I mean, in a way, a group of kids in detention hall on Saturday talking for 2 hours. That's basically it.
There was no plot in Breakfast Club. I don't think he felt like there needed to be. It was about getting down to the inner lives of the 5 kids and that they in themselves were interesting enough. There just didn't have to be any kind of gimmick or anything else.
Well, everyone's home life is unsatisfying. And if it wasn't, people would live with their parents forever.
Most people thought, well, if they're going to be kids, you know, maybe you should show them, you know, practicing blowjobs on a carrot. But Hughes wasn't doing that.
Dialogue for that particular type of movie is absolutely essential because you're not trading in special effects. You're not, you know, putting gratuitous nudity on the screen. Nobody's like sitting there doing kickbox and shit like that, or no robots. So you're missing out on like stuff that would make people come see your flick in the first place.
So.
It's one of those like quintessential like high school movies. So I don't know. It captures high school in a more realistic way than anything you'd see today.
John's movies, in words, sort of gave respect to teenagers. You know, respected them as sort of complete whole human beings that were having as valid an experience as a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old.
My dad had a video store where he sold previously viewed videos, and one time he came home with this box with 16 candles. Matt, you should watch this. And I wasn't the most like popular guy in high school. I didn't realize that Farmer Ted was supposed to be a geek because I thought he was so cool. And like I felt confident about myself.
I just remember wanting every birthday to be delivered with a cake on a table with Jake Ryan giving me that birthday cake.
These teen films are things that like you want to show your kids.
It was one of my dad's favorite movies. It was just on television, I think, and I watched it, and I watched it again and again and again, because it never gets old, because it's relatable.
Everybody just forgets this girl's birthday, and instead of just, oh, well, that's fine, I'll just have a pity party and make myself feel better by eating some cookie dough or something, which is what they try to make it seem like in movies today. It's, this girl is genuinely really hurt that nobody remembered her birthday.
So yeah, even though it's a chick flick, I've seen it. That was the movie out of all of them that stayed with me, 16 Candles with Farmer Ted, where it was the first time I saw someone like myself and thought that I was cool.
I loved Weird Science, I saw that, but that was my first introduction to Hughes, and then from there I saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I guess I related so much to that movie because Ferris was in with like all the crowds, he wasn't just in with one crowd. I played sports, but you know, I wasn't the best. I was in the drama club, just really related to this person who could just bounce from one crowd to the other seamlessly.
My introduction to John Hughes was actually the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and it was a life-changing movie. I think I've probably wanted to be Ferris Bueller since the moment I saw that film. Even now, if I'm in a bar mitzvah and I'm dancing to Twist and Shout, I'm closing my eyes and I'm thinking I'm Ferris, in the parade.
I had no idea that it would be such an enduring kind of anthem-like film. I really had absolutely no idea. No.
I found it baffling for a long time, and I felt just like I might as well just wear that Red Wings jersey for the rest of my life. At the time, I did not think this was some iconic film that we would be discussing in 20 years' time. I just thought, quite frankly, it was kind of silly because it's a movie about a girl going to a prom. I mean, do people want to see this? And clearly I was right.
My favorite Johnny Hughes film would have to be Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
They had so many different characters. They had the one guy that was crazy, or not really crazy, but he was out there, so he wanted to do everything. Ferris Bueller. He's a popular guy who wanted to have fun. And there was his nerdy friend who always was like, "We're gonna get in trouble. We're gonna get in trouble." I thought that was cool. And then the hot girl that was just there. Not really just there. She still had a personality, and she shared her opinions. But it was really cool. They all clashed, and they all got along so well together.
When we talk about these movies, my heart's beating faster and getting excited about it. And when those kids talk about it, they get excited too. But why the current films? No one gets really, really excited about those movies. You know what I mean? It's a very different our hearts are connected to those movies.
Because they say kids can't look up on the screen and go, "Yeah, that's me."
Clerks, for me, came about because I subsisted on a heady diet of big studio movies. And with the exception of the Hughes stuff, never really saw myself reflected on the screen. I love the Die Hard movies, but I can't identify with John McClane. I wouldn't shoot somebody, I wouldn't jump off the top of a building, I would never take my fucking shirt off in public. So how am I supposed to look at that movie and be like, I am like John McClane? So every once in a while, it's nice to see something where you see yourself reflected, and that's what those Hughes movies did in the mid-'80s. They kind of gave us a good 3 or 4 year run, where on a Friday night we can go to the movies and see ourselves up there.
After the 80s, I think the teen pop kind of fluff movie kind of took a dive.
I don't even think they're trying anymore.
I've never had sex with pie, but I have skipped school on occasions.
I think Hollywood is trying to search for a stereotype of a teenager, and they can't because it's too diverse.
Most movies, usually teenage movies, usually revolve around the popular girl or a girl that looks like she could be popular. They're all kind of like plastic. They have no personality to them. They just are fake.
What was the most important thing that you learned from a John Hughes film?
I don't think I can pick one most important thing. There were so many lessons that he gives. It's going to be okay. It's okay to be different.
I learned how to kiss. I had all these flashbacks of Pretty in Pink or Eric Stoltz kissing.
Burning rock in the palm of your hand. Treat this place as you want to. I will make my land to comfort you.
Somebody can help me out of this.
Whoa, whoa.
Welcome to Chicago.
This windshield is so dirty.
3:30.
Should be open.
Do you do wake-up calls? What time is the wake-up call? 9?
9:30.
Oh.
Tail sliding, whatever role you're on, and everything.
What's happening, hot stuff?
To be honest with you, I never really did anything with an accent before. And so I went to a friend of mine who's Korean, and I said, can you kind of help me with this and try to figure out, I've got to pull this off somehow. They really thought I was from another country, and I acted like that, like I didn't understand anything. And I remember that I fooled Jackie, number one, and then I told her, and then it was her idea not to tell John. And so I went in there, as the character, and I think it was like a couple of days afterwards, I called Jackie and I said,
You know, maybe he should know that I'm from Utah.
John didn't really describe the role to me as much. I sort of came in reading Lisa as sort of a Mary Poppins with breasts. I likened her to somebody with magical yet very human-like qualities, and she had an affection for these boys, and she didn't like to see them being hurt.
Hello? Showering is real fun, isn't it?
Man, you got to kiss Kelly LeBrock, and you were in the shower with her, and that rocked, you know? It was just not at all that. It was like, okay, you know, everybody's looking at me, she's looking at me, and if I look at her boobs, everybody's gonna see me looking at her boobs. And the kissing was the same thing, like over and over and over again, and the only real theme throughout the whole day was that everybody knew she wouldn't be kissing me unless she was getting paid a lot of money, and everybody was looking. And so, like, what the hell is that, you know?
When we were casting that, it was down between Anthony Michael Hall and Eric Gurry. He was the hot kid at the time, not Anthony Michael Hall. But then when Eric Gurry came in, he had done an Al Pacino movie, and he was real high energy. And Anthony Michael Hall, when he came in for casting, who I wanted, was shyer, was a little bit, he was funny, but it was much more innocent. There's something about that kid. And after he got cast, the relationship that happened between John and Michael is what really bloomed.
A naked blonde walks into a bar.
I said to John, why don't I just be telling a joke, and before I get to the punchline, I fall through the thing, because we don't need a punchline.
Naked lady says.
And we'd already shot my line when I come back down, and I go, I forgot my pencil. So me and John and Mike and Emilio were trying to go figure out a joke whose punchline would be that. We tried for like about an hour, and then you can't take that much time. So I do a version of it, and it was so incredibly nasty. It was just, it was X-rated. It was, you know, Mel Gibson could have written it. So he goes, I'm not using that. I go, I know, I was just for me. Let me try one more. So throw it all together, make it up as I'm walking through the thing, and then fall through the roof. And a lot of times people say, what's the punchline? And I'm just like, there isn't one.
I was on the set of Breakfast Club. I went up to that high school that he had turned into a studio and watched them shoot some scenes and talked to those young actors that day and talked to John Hughes, who said that one of the reasons that he moved his whole operation to Chicago and used that high school as a studio, and he used the gymnasium as a soundstage, was that he wanted to get the Brat Pack or the Brat Pack wannabes out of Los Angeles, out of a place where they could go out at night and party and go to clubs and see their friends. He wanted them in some crappy motel out by O'Hare where he could just kind of control them and bring them to this location every day and make them work without all of the distractions of their own lives as young movie stars.
At different points during the filming, come up to each one of us, because at different points there was focused more on one person, and then, and he felt like at that point, that one character was him. You know, you're playing me when I was in high school. But he had that with all five.
The first part of the first rehearsal, he has us all sitting at this one table. And I go, I'm not sitting here. And he just goes, what do you mean? I go, I'm not sitting with them at the same table with them. Why should I sit with them? Look, I've been in this room every Saturday. I don't know what the hell they do. I'm not sitting with them. You're listening to you. And he goes, well, where do you want to, okay, well, that makes sense to me. Where do you want to sit? I go, wherever he sits, pointing at Anthony Michael Hall. He goes, what do you mean? I go, whatever seat he picks, that's the one I want to sit in. He was willing to go, well, I don't know. It's almost like, it seems like sometimes directors aren't supposed to say they don't know.
By the way, that clock's 20 minutes fast.
I did a whole monologue as to where they were going to be like 20 years from now, like now. Like in their 30s. I told Judd that he was going to be, you know, overdose, and I told that Molly Ringwald's going to be in a suburban, you know, soccer mom. Anthony Michael Hall was going to be a big broker, big jag-off, big heart attack. And they're all like sitting there, and I leave, and I've sort of given them a glimpse into the future.
I don't want you to take me home.
Okay, why? What is the problem?
Because I don't want you to see where I live, okay?
John in no way was married to the words at all. I said, what if I said that? And he goes, yeah, that's good, say that. Totally. He was not in any way wedded to his words. He was wedded to his sort of the feel and, well, that seems like it's right. Yes, say that. Definitely. Much better, much better. Yeah, great idea, great idea. That raises the bar. He loved to say that raises the bar.
John is a director, and frankly, I don't think he really ever loved directing. You know, he loved writing, and I think he directed to protect the material and the characters. I think that one of the things he would end up doing when he directed, for instance, he told me once on Planes and Trains, Steve Martin had a criticism about some scene, and I saw John, he told me this, and I happened to be there, I saw him go into his trailer and rewrite the whole scene. Now, I could never do that. I would fight with the actor because I don't have the talent to rewrite the scene. Where John was so open and available, and as a writer, capable of changing it and adapting it to what that star wanted, that he would. It was easier than fighting. He didn't like confrontation.
Let's go find John Hughes. That's what we're doing today.
Get some breakfast, maybe a club.
A breakfast? Yeah, no, I want a big breakfast this morning. I want an American breakfast, like a Denny's breakfast, or like an IHOP.
Yeah, some buttermilk pancakes.
Buttermilk pancakes.
Sunny side up eggs.
Eggs.
Bacon.
I do think that this would be a really good place to start, though, to find him.
That's why we're here.
I think Starbucks because it's like a local place.
I feel like the people around here went to high school with the guy or something. Like it's like
Yeah,
but the people around here went to high school with
W.C. Fields.
I think we should stay at the house. I don't want to start the day banging on his door. I'd like to try and get as much information as I can.
Like, is he well known in his hometown? Do people know who he is?
Because this area, I don't think is
I'd love some more coffee, please.
Yeah, I'm actually enjoying this cup of Joe.
It's like no matter what you try and say, that comes out awkward instead of cool.
Who are you, Archie?
No. Did he do St. Elmo's Fire?
No.
I would have thought because of the way...
He did Breakfast Club,
Okay,
Pretty
yeah.
in Pink, Some Kind of Wonderful, Here's We Would Pay Off.
I might have to go to Breakfast Club. They're still on cable, all of them. And you turn them on and you keep them on. You never change them.
Is there anybody in this restaurant right now who would have somewhat have a good understanding of the history of this area and who might know who he is or where he is? This lady over here is going to have some gems. Gold mine. She'd go anywhere.
Try the internet.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Do you know him
Oh,
personally?
I know him, yeah. He did a lighting for, remember a movie, it wasn't very successful, Jim Belushi did with
Curly the little Sue.
Curly
That
Sue.
was John Hughes' last film.
Yeah, so I got on there and I talked to Belushi.
As much as I sometimes doubt Facciolo, that when it came down to it, the person sitting behind us had actually gone to high school with the person who did all the lighting for all of John Hughes' films.
I was very surprised the first time I received a fan letter from Scandinavia. There's so many other cultures that we think are so different from ours that a movie like Breakfast Club showed that, had a lot in common.
He was about high school. He was about teenagers. It wasn't quite corny. It could have been just funny. But there was this melancholy that made all of his movies beautiful, aesthetic, sensual and optimistic, hopeful, sad and blue.
I know that there are a lot of directors now that really pay great homage to John.
Dogma, there's a big joke in Dogma, or really like a kind of B-plot about how the Jane Bob characters wound up in Illinois was because they were looking for Shermer, Illinois, as depicted in all the Hughes movies.
Fucking Breakfast Club, where all these stupid kids actually show up for detention. Fucking Weird Science, where this babe wants to take her gear off and get down, but oh no, she don't, because it's a PG movie. And then Pretty in Pink, which I can't even watch with this tubby bitch anymore, because every time it gets to the part where the redhead hooks up with her dream guy, he starts sobbing like a little bitch with a skin knee and shit.
The John Hughes films are classic movies, and we wanted to pay homage to them because obviously we felt like they've stood the test of time, and even today's audience who watches teen movies, still watches them on cable and rents the DVDs.
20 years ago, 5 teenagers sat divided in a high school library, condemned to 8 hours of detention with nothing to do but figure out, who the hell am I?
When they were going to do that thing for MTV, when they spoke to me about it, I said, well, you reached Hughes, and they were like, no.
Writer-director John Hughes' 1985 classic remains an enduring story, reflecting the good, the bad, and the ugly of teenage wasteland. Tonight we are here not to punish the Breakfast Club, but to honor it, to etch its name into movie awards history and onto our silver bucket of excellence.
I go, well, you might want to at least try. If you want all of us to show up, you get him, we'll definitely all show up. We love working for him. He shows up somewhere, we'll be there. And then the guy was like, well, maybe I should do that. I go, yeah, maybe you should.
I had no idea that we would be here 20 years later, and it would all still mean so much. And I just want to really acknowledge somebody that should be here. I wish he was here tonight, John Hughes, who, you know, without whom we wouldn't be here.
Where are you?
Where are you?
Well, do you know where he is?
So we go find him?
We have to think about two things. One, we don't want to tip him off, but I do think we need to do a little research before we just ambush his house, like mid-afternoon, lunchtime.
I don't like the word ambush.
But it is an ambush, Matt. He doesn't know we're coming.
There's other words better than ambush.
Stalking?
No.
The drop-by?
Going to his house to tell him that we like, tell him how much his films mean to people.
Here's what we have to remember. We've been living this for 2.5 years, and we're in it. He has no idea who we are. He doesn't know who we are. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to talk to people. So the fact that we're coming to his house, which is like his domain, that's a total invasion of privacy. So we're going to have to handle it very delicately.
That's what I'm saying. It needs to be treated really delicately because I don't want it to be like a complete invasion of his privacy.
So, yeah.
Now I think we do some research, like go to the Starbucks, go wherever, get some information delicately. Then again, like what Carrie's saying is express two things if we even do get to him, which are we're doing this because there's a love for him and a demand for him that maybe he's not aware of and we want to make him aware of it.
Yeah.
That's all.
My only concern is getting to that point. What's our opening without having this man be like, get the fuck off my property?
Genuine honesty. Like, why not just go to him and just be like, John, we've spent 2 years of our lives doing this.
Doesn't matter.
If this happened.
He didn't ask us to.
I think we just show up and say we'd really like to talk to you.
Everyone
We'd
wants
really
to
like
talk
to you.
If somebody showed up at my house and was like, hey, I just want to talk to you, I'd be like, well, fucking call me or send me an email. Don't just show up at my door and do that.
These circumstances are different, though. For me, it's like if we go to the door and, we're very respectful about him. We're like, hey, we just want to talk. And he says no. Well, that reveals a lot about John Hughes as well. That's insight into the man as well.
No, we can't hold that against him. If he's like, guys, get off. We just want to deliver you a message. We'd love an interview from you. So we just want to give you a little sample of what we've been working on for 2.5 years, hence the fact that we're filming this.
I thought we agreed that we weren't going to give him a cut of the film.
I feel like it's our last chance.
This is what I would do. We go far away in our inconspicuous FBI-looking van. I would send Carrie with a note.
I think the letter is really important.
We'll get into it. With a letter and a cut. And if she gets to speak to him for 30 seconds, which is very unlikely, but our best chance of him answering is Carrie walking up. We're here to deliver this to you.
I think he's going to be receptive to it.
If he's home, you should go to the door.
Yeah.
And anything else is gravy.
Do you think like maybe the cripple factor might help? Like if I went with Carrie and just...
I think one person.
Like if he engages, just walk out.
Of course. Yeah, listen, we're not stalking a deer here.
Yeah.
Music was always an important element in John Hughes' films, and now we take it for granted that if we're going to see any kind of a teen comedy, we're going to hear a lot of hipster bands, and the soundtrack's going to be very important. If you go back before John Hughes, you realize you didn't have that in movies very often until then.
I think a lot more people learned about Oingo Boingo through seeing Weird Science than would have occurred had they not been in the film at that point.
He would take like Matthew and Alan down to the record store on the weekends, and they would buy like 5,000 records.
Hughes' flicks tend to make pop culture references that are very, very broad. Like if you're watching, a Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the car takes off overhead over the camera, and you're hearing the Star Wars theme. Where Hughes tended to be more specific is the use of music. If You Leave by OMD, it's not like OMD ever broke out after Pretty in Pink. And the moment you hear that song on the radio, if you're like me, you're like, ooh, 1986.
They viewed music as a tool to promote the film. Any film that had anything special about music that wasn't a musical was because the director loved music, which is John Hughes. I mean, John Hughes' whole thing was he loved music probably as much as he loved making film.
I remember John coming to the set and talking about all this music and stuff he was going to put in the movie and all this, and playing these songs for us. And I was just sort of amazed.
It really did generate a new feeling within the film industry, that you can make a film that that could reach a teenage audience like this on such a large level with the music and the film.
His music is incredible. He said he wrote the first draft of Breakfast Club like one weekend, sitting in a room, like listening to music and stuff. He was like the first guy, psychedelic furs. Like he knew about the psychedelic furs. He seemed to know what music most kids in high school were listening to. Then, like tonight, what they were going to go home and what they were going to play. He knew, he might even have known before they did.
The record company at the time came and they said, there's this movie coming. To be part of the soundtrack of this movie would really put you up into the kind of place where you want to go.
So we meet with Simple Minds, and it's kind of like a lot of tension, because they don't want to do this. You know, they're going to sing somebody else's song?
The producer of what became the song, Keith Forsey, turned up, saying, you got to do my song, it'll be great, it'll be #1 and stuff, and I know Billy Idol.
Out of frustration, I went into this Jordan Harris's office. I slammed the door, and I said, look, you've got to make Simple Minds do this song.
And he said, look, what have you got to lose? Try the song.
Jim said he wanted to redo the lyrics, but you can't redo the chorus. The chorus has to stay.
We didn't have an end for the song, and we thought, well, we'll just break it down. But I don't have any words. So they took it down, came up with this great crescendo, and left me with nothing to sing except La La La. It was the song that was never meant to be.
Dumbass, do you know north, south, east, and west?
Dude, if I go out this way, we're gonna go back to Westlake. Westlake is where we have to go.
But you're not sure. You just turned right and you're flooring it, basically.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You don't know where you're going.
So I noticed a similarity between a whole bunch of the houses that he uses in his films. National Lampoon's Vacation, 16 Candles, European Vacation, Christmas Vacation, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, Home Alone 2, and Home Alone 3. All the houses are nice upper middle class red brick or white with black or white shutters. He uses all like the same image of this house in all these movies. Maybe his house looks...
You probably grew up there, man.
You ever compliment him on anything?
Many critics attack John and his movies.
Critics looked at it as, here's the latest, installment from John Hughes. And I don't think they were overly cruel, but I don't think they were overly enthusiastic. I just think it was like nice little comedy about some kids running around Chicago.
Right now, Gene starts by reviewing John Hughes' newest film, which is about a kid who takes a day off from school. I was very disappointed about Hughes' new film called Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I definitely think that he deserves a critical reassessment. And I was reading contemporary reviews of his movies written in between 1982 and 1989. And I was surprised how they treated them like they were Rob Schneider movies. They just did not get the respect that I thought they would get.
Ferris Bueller doesn't do anything much fun.
They attacked them, they ripped them to shreds, and they did no respect for them. Now it's about 25 years later, and they talk about the great teen movies.
That scene didn't thrill me. The story would be simple enough to do well, but Matthew Broderick has nothing special to say when he looks us straight in the eye.
At the time, had they been a little bit more supportive of those movies and John, perhaps John'd still be here, working in the system and writing movies. Part of the reason I think that he felt like he didn't want to do it anymore, or we had to escape, was because of how these critics treated his work.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it was so tough on you.
We haven't heard of a filmmaker named John Hughes, have you?
Of course.
You know he lives around here?
Does he live in Lake Forest? I thought he moved.
Did you know that the film director John Hughes, who wrote and directed those films, lives here? Yeah. And you've never heard anything about him or?
The name is like familiar.
Hey guys, can I talk to you for one quick sec? Sorry to bother you. We're doing a documentary about a filmmaker named John Hughes. Have you heard of John Hughes?
Yes. I heard a rumor that he might have moved.
I don't know. I just know he lives like over there somewhere.
We're doing a documentary. Have you guys ever seen the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yes. That's like my favorite movie.
How did you know about Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
It's the best movie ever. Yeah, my mom.
Do you guys think they make movies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off today?
Nothing really like
Modern.
that good of a story. Not that good of a story. That's like an amazing plot line. Yeah.
So what are the questions that we have for John Hughes? So
Questions for John, if we're sitting in his family room chatting. We have, why did you leave? Will you ever come back? Do you know how much you're missed? How much of your life ended up in these films? We know what you thought of the films that came before you made the teen films. What do you think of the films that came after? We've asked the teens to give a message to you. What is your message to teens?
I think we should all just in our own head have something that we would want to say to him personally. We're going to go to an Italian restaurant called Fiorentino's pizza place, where apparently John Hughes orders pizza from. See what kind of information we can dig up. Let's go.
Hey, we hear this is the best place to get some pizza.
We also heard something else.
John Hughes comes by and orders pizza, yeah?
He was in there, let me see, last week.
Last week?
Last week?
I mean, sometimes it's like twice a week he's in here.
We're actually heading over to his house soon, so we'd love to order pizza from him.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem.
So whatever.
His usual order.
Usually orders like a medium thin cheese.
Yeah, maybe the address, I don't know.
You guys got a minute? I could probably. You guys have his address? I can't really give it
No,
to you.
no,
guys, you know what I mean?
But we do.
Let me go look up his order.
Okay, cool.
Everyone together here?
Yeah.
We might be calling him to be like, there's 8 guys showing up at my pizza place.
That is possible.
That is totally possible.
We're hot on his scent. That's for sure.
It's on his trail.
This is it, guys. Wait. Just keep going, man. See?
We definitely passed
it's on
that house.
Westminster. Yeah,
That was
it's
like
on
the second one.
Westminster.
This one?
Yeah.
So let's make another pass of the house just so that we know exactly.
No, it's on.
I think Lenny was right. I think it was the second house.
Yeah, I think it's the one on the corner.
But I think it's this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. So let's park it right here.
No.
Pull up into the island here and let's just get our bearings and get out. So we should all walk to the house. We'll stay out of the view. You go in with the pizza.
I feel like we almost should
Well,
bring
just-
the pizza. It was good.
No, bring the pizza. Bring
That
it.
implicates the Fortino's
It does. I don't want to
and
do
then
it.
he'll think
And
that
he'll
the
think that
Fortino's
he
guy
gave us his
gave us
address.
that.
I don't
Yes,
want to do
yeah, I agree. I agree.
It's not worth it.
Oh, that's cool. All right. This may be too close. Let's get out of the van. Drop your purse. Forget about anything that's going on.
If Carrie's going up there to say, I'm not filming, and he's not a stupid guy, why don't we just have her go
Because
up
if
first?
he says no, then we won't use it.
Do you think it's worth having her just go up first?
Because if she says, no, I'm not filming, and he sees the lap, that could be the deal breaker right there.
If he says, are you filming it, she'll say yes.
Okay, good. That's all I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
We have to follow Carrie up to the house, though, right? Yeah.
I'm going to stay off the property.
Yeah. Let's just go and see what happens.
Let's just walk up.
and stand outside there at the driveway.
I want my release
If he wants
form.
the camera off, we'll
I'm
turn
not
it
even
off.
gonna bring my purse.
No.
I'm just gonna
Let him see your eyes, though.
Okay,
Take the
that's
shades
perfect.
off. when you go.
I
Take
will,
the
I will.
Shades off. No, shades off all the way up.
Are you guys going in the van? Because we can't.
No, we're gonna walk
we're
up.
going up.
But we're gonna hide. We're gonna sort of stay
Okay.
in the back bushes. Look, the camera's there. It's all good. Hold on. Everybody, quick. Let's go. Hands in. 2.5 years.
2.5 years right here.
John Hughes.
Please say yes.
Please say yes.
Please say yes.
Here we go. Here we go.
Please be home.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Got it. Let's go. Got this, Care.
What am I saying?
Guys, we should stay back.
Lenny, we've come this far. We can't go back. Let's go.
Hi, yes, I have a message for John Hughes.
Hi, John. I'm Jason Reitman. You have no idea who I am. However, I grew up watching your films, and I'm a diehard fan of Ferris Bueller.
Give me a call, John.
I love that film. Thank you for making that film.
Hi, John. I hope you're well. Thanks for everything.
For me, it's kind of a cinematic expression of pure joy.
Well, I just hope he's well and healthy.
I can't help it. There's something delicious about the way you feel at the end of that film, the way you feel when Ferris starts dancing. And I hope to God you make another movie that makes me feel that way again.
Thank you so much.
You're a god to us.
Yes.
Thank you.
I would love to be involved in anything he does, you know, and a lot of people would.
Thank you for Kelly LeBrock.
I think I would put in a call to John Hughes and see what he's up to. And see if he has any screenplays in his desk drawer that he would like for me to read.
My message for John Hughes would be thank you very much for actually making movies that portray how teenagers really are rather than glamorizing their problem.
I miss you very much. I'm tired of talking to you in my mind. You know, I'd like to talk to you in person.
I am so sorry for being such a kind of a jerk on that movie, and I wish you well, and I'm very grateful for having been in that movie.
There's a void that you left, whether you like it or not. I think that you should have a say in every single teen movie that comes out today. They need your guidance, John.
Without you, I wouldn't have made Clerks, Mallrats, and all the shit that I've done. So if you hate those movies, you have no one but yourself to blame.
I can come to Chicago. I know where Chicago is. It's a windy city. I can get there. Come on, it's probably you and just Cusack hanging out all the time. That's not right.
Find someone, find a protege, and, you know, like lead them, show them your ways, tell them to come and talk to us.
And do an interview every once in a while, for God's sake.
I'm built like a table, all leg and no movement. I can't play any sports, and thanks to you, you made that cool.
Come back, John Hughes!
Come back. Do anything, write, direct, produce, it doesn't matter. Come back and save teenage films, please.
Okay, hold on just a minute. Thank you. I have a package for Mr. Hughes.
Oh, no, you're not home.
He's not home. Okay. You know what? Maybe I'll come back later so I can put it in a proper envelope because I was just gonna talk to him.
He's not home right now.
Okay. Thank you. So I don't know if he is home and she's just covering for him, but he could be like watching from that window and we're standing here with the fucking camera crew. So I think we should write the letter and just drop it off. I said I was gonna do that.
Oh no, somebody's in the window, look.
Oh,
Where? No, it's okay.
No, it's okay.
Not just like peering through windows.
Get Fetch over here. Fetch! Fetch!
Just saw somebody in the window. I feel like maybe if I went up to the door, I don't know, like.
Get Fetch over here.
It's perfect. We get another chance.
I think the letter should just be to you,
John, where have you gone?
You know, like I
No,
don't think
we,
it should
you
be
know,
like,
we sorry for your intrusive.
The letter should be short. It should be heartfelt. I think it should end with that each one of us is a.
No.
No, it's so lame, Matt.
All right, Matt, a real letter to him.
I think we should just be who we are, not try and imitate him. Okay, let's hear
All right,
the letter.
Let's get the letter. Let's write it here, right here now.
Some of the anger
Here he
here.
goes back. We'll stay back more, I guess.
And at the end of the letter, say, we would love to interview you. We are Northbrook for a day. Please call us if you're willing to talk to us on or off camera. We just want to meet you after 2.5 years of getting to know you. Dear John.
Dear John.
Dear John.
Dear John.
We're sorry if we've intruding in your personal space.
We're independent documentary
Wait,
filmmakers.
please. Please wait, I can't.
All right.
So what's the first line?
Dear John.
Sorry.
For the unexpected intrusion, or whatever you want to call it.
We have spent the last
2.5 years making a documentary about the impact that your films have had.
on an audience that
Spans over 3 generations. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Over the last 2.5 years.
We've already said that.
We have? Okay, read it out loud.
Dear John, sorry for the unexpected drop-in.
We're here for a day. If you can reach out to us in any way, we'd love to just speak to you.
Comma.
We understand and respect your privacy.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Here is a rough cut
Here's
of
a
our
rough cut of our
documentary. Make rough in caps.
If you would sit down.
With us, we would be grateful.
Should we say that, like, we miss you?
Yes.
No.
Yes. No,
And
I
then-
think we should.
Guys, I don't think he's going to respond to cheese.
This is a strong ending, though. We're here until tomorrow. If you would sit down with us, that would complete our film.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
and
it.
don't forget about me, T.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Good letter.
Good letter.
Organic,
Good letter.
heartfelt.
Organic. And you know what? Let's just stay here this time. Let Carrie go. Try again. Give him the letter.
I'm glad you thought of it.
Go Carrie.
Go Care. Go get him. I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Who wants a slice of pizza?
So 6 weeks later, after the road trip, we were waiting for a response and kind of never thought we'd get one.
Do you think there's something in there? What do you think's in there?
If he actually went to the truck, he didn't just toss it in the garbage. Like,
I think he called his lawyer, and his lawyer said, "Well, send it back."
In my heart of hearts, you know, I hope that there's a letter saying, "I'm watching, good job, guys," but I just don't think there. I think it's the DVD, and maybe I don't know. I just think it's the DVD, and
I'm gonna believe that he watched it.
Just open it.
Just open the freaking package.
Handwritten letter, handwritten envelope.
No, it's just an address.
But that could be Hughes' handwriting.
No. You don't need to test anymore. We're opening it right now.
Our letter.
It's our letter.
Maybe he. So I think it's safe to say we're not getting an interview.
Could still happen.
Have we really been trying to find out why he's hiding? I think it's more about us, like, feeling, like, validated that everyone feels the same way that we do.
And it is self-indulgent on everyone's part. And everyone says, "Oh, when I have enough, but we never have enough.
There's no big mystery, maybe. Like, maybe it's just he made amazing movies, and now he's happy.
Enjoying his life.
I think there's no other filmmaker that's been so influential on not only filmmaking, but, like, people. I know it's a big statement, but, like,
Of course, I think that 100%.
So is our message really that we want you to come back, or is our message?
No, our
or is
message is
be like,
thank you and
thank
enjoy.
You, thank you,
know.
and everyone enjoy.
But we do want him to come back.
No.
We do. You know? I do. I want him to come back.